Hi, it's Holly from East Sussex Parent Carer Forum. I just wanted to come on quickly and just kind of see how everyone's doing, really. Now that, back to school is in full swing for those children and young people who have gone back. And there's been enough time for things to either kind of settle down or for problems to start to emerge. Personally, for my family, it's definitely been a tale of two halves, really. So my youngest, he's got no additional needs, mainstream school. He's gone back, absolutely taken to it like a duck to water, loving being back, which is really, really positive. My eldest, he's just started in year 6 and he's started at a specialist school. He left his mainstream school a few weeks before the schools closed, actually. So what should have been a couple of weeks between schools turned into obviously a good few months. And we had quite a positive experience actually during lockdown. We were quite fortunate and it worked very well for his needs and for our family. He's autistic, and so we made sure that all of our smaller routines were kept the same. And he'd been so part-time at school before the closures anyway that it was much less of a shock, much less of a change being out of school for him. So then going back obviously has been much more of a shock. And definitely some cracks started to appear. A lot of them in terms of just behaviours being misinterpreted. So a really good example is he will only sit on the left-hand side of a vehicle, and it's just one of those things. He finds the seatbelt to be uncomfortable on the wrong side, and we don't even think about it anymore as a family. That's just where he sits in the car. In the same way that lots of adults have, that's your side of the sofa or that's your side of the bed. We just don't even think about it, do we? So I hadn't thought to mention it to the school. And so when they were going in the minibus to Forest School, his seat was allocated on the right. And he got then really, really distressed about that. He didn't understand that they didn't know that. So then because he was distressed about that, he then couldn't communicate it properly. And then we kind of get into this cycle of then he's got in trouble for kind of, his behaviour, which he then thought was unfair because he thought it was really valid that he didn't want to sit on this side. And yeah, it just kind of creates this cycle. We've also had issues start to come up definitely with kind of finding it difficult to keep up with some of the work. But he's also missed, as lots of our children have, so much before because he wasn't able to access the classroom when he was at mainstream school. So there's, real big gaps, and he's finding that really difficult to manage, that kind of perceived failure, which obviously it's not, it's not his fault at all that he's missed all of these things. But he definitely finds it really difficult, and feels like he should be able to do these things and feels like there's that sense of failure there, which is really, really hard for him. We know that there's been different experiences, some really, really positive, and, we really want to hear those things as well, so that good practice can be shared and we can see where things are going really well, and also just where things aren't going so well. Again, it's really, really important. Do feed that back to us. We meet regularly with, leaders of services, and the more voices that we've got, the more feedback that we've got, the greater the impact, the greater the influence that we have got to be able to say, look, this isn't going so well, and this, so this needs to be looked at, and changed how things are going and what's been done. So do get in touch with us. All of our information is on our Facebook page and our website. We absolutely love to hear from you all. Hope things are going as well as they can do for as many of you, and we'll speak to you all soon.